What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our after Week 10 rankings for the NFL. Hope you guys had a good week watching football. If you've watched the channel before, if you know how this works, if you don't know how it works, we don't do a regular 1 through 32 ranking. We do a tier list and we go through each game, and that is how we rank each team. So I'm going to try to make this quick for you guys. Before we get into the tier list, I want to give a big shout out Underdog and Sleeper. Use the code HMM when you sign up. You're going to get yourself a free 0.5 pick and a deposit match as well. And then on top of that, check out our short form content, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Shorts. We're everywhere. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the bell notification. All right. First game we had for Week 10 was the Raiders versus the Broncos. The Raiders right now are dookie. They are not very good. They need a new quarterback. They need to figure out something with Ashton Jeanty. They got to get him going. I made videos this week asking people if that was a wasted pick. And I honestly think it was. Not for the fact that Ashton Jeanty is bad, but for the fact that the rest of the team for the Raiders is terrible, and you shouldn't be taking a running back that high when the rest of your team is bad. The Broncos, to me right now, are just a playoff team. They're winning games. They're playing out of their mind somehow in these close games. They're winning them all, and I think that's going to hurt them in the playoffs. They'll probably squeak out a game, maybe two in the playoffs. It's close. I think once they play like the Kansas City Chiefs, which they play this week, it's going to bite them in the butt. I don't see them being Super Bowl contenders right now. The next game we had was over in Berlin. We had the Falcons facing the Colts. The Colts won 31-25. The Indianapolis Colts, for me, right now, they are obvious contenders to win the Super Bowl. Jonathan Taylor should probably win MVP. Daniel Jones is regressing a little bit, and it still doesn't matter. This is still a very, very good team. And the Atlanta Falcons, I go back and forth on them. I'm going to put them in the trash category right now. They just can't put it all together. I've said this week after week. 1 week Bijan looks amazing. 1 week he stinks. 1 week Drake London looks great, but Bijan can't get going. There's something wrong with this team right now, and it's just that they can't be consistent. I'm not even going to put them in the mid category. I just think they're personally kind of trash. And yes, they went toe-to-toe with the Colts. I still find them very trash. Moving on, the Dolphins got a huge win versus the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins to me are ass. Dolphins to me are still ass, but this is a big win. Devon Achane went off. The offense went off, and they held Josh Allen to only 13 points. If only they could have done this all year. If only Achane could have went off all year. But right now, this is still a very ass Dolphins team. We'll see if next year's going to be better. But as of right now, I don't really see this team getting much better. And then the Buffalo Bills, they're a playoff team right now for sure, but they're teetering on mid. Their defense is terrible. Josh Allen needs to protect the ball more. He's still elite. Josh Allen is still great, but this defense is bad. Very bad. 197 yards on the ground from Achane, 225 all-purpose yards. It's not good. Not good right now for the Buffalo Bills. They're going to make the playoffs. They are not built to win the Super Bowl right now. That is why they are not in the contender category. Moving on, our next game, we had the Minnesota Vikings versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are back. They're back in a big way. Right now, they're a playoff team. They're kind of in the same situation as the Buffalo Bills, except the Bills are trending downward. The Ravens are trending upward. They're getting better right now. As of right now, they're a playoff team. If their defense shores up, they'll definitely be a contender. But right now, they're just a playoff team, in my opinion. And then the Minnesota Vikings are mid. They're mid. They beat the Lions. They lose this game to the Ravens, which 9, who is JJ McCarthy, had a rough go at it. They're just one of these mid-teetering teams that 1 week you don't want to play them, but then the next week you do. They're just a very mid team. Moving on, the New York Jets get a win versus the Cleveland Browns, 27-20. Both of these teams right now are dookie. Both of these teams right now are dookie. The Browns have a good defense, and the Browns did well on defense this week. They just gave up 2 special teams touchdowns, and that is the only reason why the Jets were in this game. And then the New York Jets, again, they'll have 1 week where they'll be great on offense, and then this week they struggled. Justin Fields had 1 pass that put him at 54 passing yards, but if you take that away, he only had 12. Like, it was a rough day for Justin Fields in this entire offense. Now, I get that Garrett Wilson's hurt, and they just traded away a bunch of people. The New York Jets are trending upward, seemingly, because they just got 2 wins in a row. They're going to get blown out tonight by the New England Patriots, but they're not the worst team in the league, and we'll get to the worst team in the league coming up here. Our next game is the aforementioned New England Patriots, who took on the Buccaneers, which this was an awesome game. TreVeyon Henderson was finally unlocked, and honestly, the Patriots are contenders. Their defense is good. They have a good running game. Drake May right now is possibly the MVP of the NFL. They are 1,000% contenders. They are built to win in the playoffs. They have a good coaching staff. They have a good quarterback, a good running game, a good defense. They're back. The Patriots dynasty is back after a little 5-year hiatus. And then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to put them in the playoff category. Baker needs to get his weapons back, and they'll come back, and they'll be healthy. They're a playoff team right now. I just don't see them as a full contender. Maybe once all the weapons are back and everybody's healthy, we'll bump them up. But as of right now, they are just a playoff team. The Panthers versus the Saints. The Saints beat the Panthers 17-7. And this Panther team right now, it's weird. I don't know. They beat up on a team and then they get crushed the next week. This Panther team just beat the Packers last week. Now, the Packers aren't the best team in the league, but that's not a game that they should be winning. And then they lost the game this week that they should have won. They are ass. They are ass. They are not very good. And then the Saints right now, I don't know if I want to put them in the Jets category, if I want to put them in Dookie. I think I'm going to put them in Dookie just because Tyler Shuck, I guess, had a good game. So here's the thing with the Saints. They're Dookie, but they should be in the Jets category. Why are they winning these games? They should not be winning games right now. Absolutely not. Tyler Shuck just won a game. Good. Bench him. You shouldn't be winning football games right now. The Saints right now, I will say, are Dookie. The Panthers are ass teetering on Dookie as of right now. The Jags versus the Texans. The Jags, monumental collapse in the fourth quarter. Monumental, giving up, 23 points in the fourth quarter to Davis freaking Mills? To Davis freaking Mills? This was a game between trash and trash. It really was. The Jags, if the Jags would have won this game, they would have been in, not playoff, they would have been in mid, but Trevor Lawrence may have the most almost interceptions in the league. It might be time for them to move on from him. And then, hey, the Texans got it done with Davis Mills. It's just they're still not a very good team whatsoever. The Arizona Cardinals got mollywopped, destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks. I am actually going to put the Seahawks in the contender category. Sam Darnold looks great. Their defense can use a little bit of work. They have a good running back. They have possibly the best receiver in the NFL right now. This is a contender type team. If they can get their defense pumping just a little bit more, playing a little bit better defense, hey, they are 1,000% a notable contender to win the Super Bowl. If they can continue what they're doing on the offensive side of the ball, and if they get their defense going, they may be up here. But there's only one team that's going up there right now, and we probably all know who it's going to be. But the Seattle Seahawks are a definite contender for the NFL. And the Cardinals, I'm going to put in, I don't know if I want to put them in ass or trash. I'm going to put them in just trash right now. If Kyler Murray was still playing, they may be in Dookie. But for some reason, they have something going with Jacoby Brissett and Marvin Harrison Jr. Now he is out this week. This is a team that I see falling more than going up, but right now I'll just put them in the trash category for now. Moving on, we have the Rams versus the 49ers. 49ers to me right now are just a middling team. They have weeks where you're scared of them with Christian McCaffrey and Kittle. But then there's other weeks where, like this week, they just get absolutely destroyed, blown out of the water by a team who is a contender. Matthew Stafford, it might come down to Matt Stafford versus Drake May for who's going to win MVP this year when Puka Nacua is fully healthy. Devontae Adams is great. This is a very, very good Rams team, and they are a contender to win the Super Bowl this year. And they beat up. They did what they had to do, beating up on a division opponent. The Detroit Lions took on the Washington Commanders. The Detroit Lions, to me, man, it's tough because I'm going to honestly put the Detroit Lions in just the playoff category because they're better than the teams in mid, even though the Vikings beat them. But they're better than a middling team where 1 week they're good, 1 week they're bad. But I can see them being more consistently good and having, like, they'll be like 2 weeks good, 1 week off. Whereas like the Vikings is like 1 week good, 1 week bad. You get what I'm saying? So right now I have them as a playoff team, but I don't have them as a contender to win the Super Bowl. Kind of like the Buffalo Bills, kind of like the Denver Broncos, in my opinion. And the Washington Commanders, unfortunately, I'm going to put you guys in the ass category. More so just because of all the injuries you're dealing with. And I know that that's not fully your fault, but you guys are ass because of that. So unfortunately for the Washington Commanders, yeah, you guys are kind of dookie. We have the Los Angeles Chargers beating up on the Pittsburgh Steelers, my favorite team. Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, I am fully biased when my team does well, and I'm fully in hate watching when they do bad. And I'm honestly tempted to put them in Dookie right now. I really am. I'm gonna put the Steelers in trash. 1 week the defense plays well, and they played well this week. The next week they play like crap, but then the offense plays good. They can't put it all together. They can't figure it out. Beating the Colts was the worst thing that could have happened to this team. But I'll talk about that later. I think I talk about that in the podcast, actually, if you want to hear about that. And then the Chargers are a playoff team. Good running game. Kamini Vidal took over and beat up on the Steelers. Vlad McConkey, Keenan Allen, Justin Herbert looked great. They did what they had to do and beat up on a piss-poor Pittsburgh Steeler team. And then our Monday Night Football game. This was ugly. It sucked. It was terrible. Green Bay Packers, they're mid, in my opinion. I don't know what's wrong. Their defense played awesome versus the Eagles. They could not figure it out on the offensive side of the ball. It was infuriating to watch that game. It is so freaking bad. And I don't know what the problem is. Is it Matt LaFleur? Is it Jordan Love? I don't know, but I just know that they are not good. And the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm going to put them in the playoff category right now because the Packers do have a good defense, but this offense is seemingly struggling a little bit. And I think I'm only putting them in playoffs because of what their expectations should be. So, like, I may be overreacting, only putting them in playoffs and not contender. But for now, that's where they're going to be slotted in at. They are just a playoff team, in my opinion. Did I miss a game? I did. I missed the Giants versus the Bears. Sorry about that, guys. New York Giants. New York Giants are ass. Just fired their coach. The way to beat this Giants team is to be up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Jackson Dart's now hurt. Malik Neighbors is hurt. Cam Scatterboo's hurt. They just fired their coach. They are moving on to Jameis Winston, so they're not doing the whole Russell Wilson thing, which is very smart. Should have did that in the first place, is played Jameis Winston instead of ever putting in Russell Wilson. But this team is ass. And the Chicago Bears, they're playing really well. 6-3 this year. The offense, listen, they have these games where it comes down to the wire, but they're winning games. And that's why I'm going to put them in the playoff category for right now. They're winning games. That's literally all you can do, and they look great. They look good on the offensive side of the ball. I get it comes down to the wire, but they're kind of playing the same as the Broncos, where it comes down to the wire. Except the Broncos have a better defense. It's just the Bears are a playoff team. They're in the same realm as the Broncos right now, in my opinion. Then we had our bye week teams. We had the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to put them in trash just because their offense is so freaking potent. It is so good. They're going to probably mollywop the Steelers this week again with that crazy offense. It's probably going to be another shootout type game. Dallas Cowboys are ass. Yeah, they're just the defense is not good right now, and they got shut down in their last game before the bye week and got it wasn't good for them. Tennessee Titans, they're in the Jets category. They're the worst team in the league by far. If I could put them at number 35 and have college teams ahead of them, I would. And then the number 1 team, and it just so happened to fall that way, they're going to win it all. Just accept it. The Kansas City Chiefs. Big game this week versus the Denver Broncos, so this could change. We'll see how they play. But as of right now, they are going to win the Super Bowl. Just accept it. Those are my rankings, my power rankings for the NFL week after week 10. So we will be back on next Thursday, next Wednesday. I don't know. It depends on when I decide to film this. Next Thursday or Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, to do our after week 11 power rankings. So please be sure, guys, to hit the thumbs up on this video if you could. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and be sure again to follow us on all of our short form platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Shorts. We are everywhere. And also, big shout out to Underdog and Sleeper. Use the code HMM. Get yourself a free 0.5 pick and a deposit match. Peace out, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow for an episode of the Hail Mary. Later, guys.